Welcome back. The time is now 7:39. Will Meyer, the movie guy, is here with us talking about the top movies at the box office this week. All right, start us out, Will. What's our first one to look for?
First one is Hostiles. This one actually doesn't come out until this Friday, but I thought I'd go ahead and give a sneak preview of this. Yeah, this is a Western that stars Christian Bale, Rosamund Pike, a lot of other great character actors. It's a movie about an army captain who reluctantly agrees to escort a Cheyenne chief to his home territory, and they have to go through some dangerous territory to get there. This is a neo-revisionist Western, kind of in the vein of Unforgiven. It's a very dark movie that's very violent. It has one of the most unsettling openings I've seen in any movie in a long time. It introduces us to some seemingly complex characters. Hostiles kind of has a double meaning here. It means the settlers as well as some of the Native Americans. And we learn that our hero here, played by Christian Bale, may not be such a good guy after all. So it sounds like my kind of movie, honestly. Very dark, very complex, that sort of thing. Yeah. But this is a movie that examines some interesting themes like grief and PTSD, which we don't usually see in Westerns so much, but this movie kind of became less interesting and more cliched as it went along for me. It kind of stops treating these characters around the halfway mark as characters, and it starts treating them as types, especially the Native Americans. And you have some great Native American actors here like Wes Studi, who aren't given really much to do. I didn't really buy the character arcs in the end of the protagonist, and the story just kind of went in a very routine, very Hollywood direction, which would be fine if this movie were more of a crowd pleaser, but this is, Leslie, a long, slow slog, and it takes itself very seriously. And so there's a lot of stuff to admire here, and I mean, there are a lot of great actors in this film, but I was a little disappointed. This was, positioned as a big awards movie, and I don't think it's going to be taking home any awards. So I'd say 2.5 out of 4 stars.
And how long is it? Is it one of those 3-hour
It feels like
films?
it. I don't know how long it actually is, but it feels like a very long movie, yeah.
All right, well, next on the list, Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread. This is an awards contender. This is one that that stars Daniel Day-Lewis, Vicky Krieps, Leslie Manville, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who previously directed Daniel Day-Lewis to an Oscar in There Will Be Blood. It is set in 1950s London. It's about a fashion designer whose life is turned upside down when he meets a young woman named Alma, who becomes his muse and his lover. This is supposedly Daniel Day-Lewis's last film, which is heartbreaking for film fans because he's arguably the greatest living actor, but at least he's going out with a really good movie. This is one that is a stylish, elegant costume drama, one that, like its protagonist, is obsessed with detail. I mean, the set design, the costumes, all that is incredible here. I think Daniel Day-Lewis actually made some of the costumes in this movie. Yeah, it's really impressive. And but this is anything but like a stuffy Merchant Ivory period drama. This is a really strange and fascinating movie, one that keeps getting darker as it goes along. There's a lot of really shocking twists in this movie, which you just do not expect. It's also shockingly funny. I laughed out loud constantly in this film. Most of all, it's very romantic. It's a very wise, mature romantic drama about codependency. All the performances are great in this movie, and I've had a screener of this, and so I've watched it several times. Each time I watch it, I take away something new, and it still feels fresh each time I watch it. So this is a 4 out of 4 stars for me easily. So
a rare
love this movie.
4 out of 4 from Will Meyer.
You can catch this one in theaters right now.
Awesome. Well, our next movie, Call Me By Your Name.
Yep, another awards contender. This stars Timothy Chalamet, Armie Hammer, as well as Michael Stuhlbarg. This is a coming-of-age movie about a young boy who finds love and himself during a summer spent in northern Italy in 1983. This is a movie that's kind of quiet, but it's very powerful. This movie stuck with me more than any film I saw last year. It's rich, it's atmospheric, it's just a warm, gorgeous movie. Using music, cinematography, it creates this world that you just kind of want to just stay in and luxuriate in for a long time. Like I said, a movie of few words, but it doesn't take away from its power. It's about missed signals, about words left unspoken, which is, of course, appropriate in a movie about first love and first loss. And it's very empathetic. It's a portrait of a person's experience of falling in love for the first time, and it's nothing like my own, and it may not be like yours either, but this movie still feels very universal. It's emotional too. The last 10 minutes of this movie are as moving as anything I've ever seen on screen. So great performances here too. It's kind of positioned for at the Oscars, Gary Oldman versus Timothy Chalamet from this movie for Best Actor. I love them both. I'm kind of rooting for Timothy because he's so good in this movie.
And he's the young
the young guy. Yeah, he's fantastic.
How old is that actor?
I think he's 21, but he plays a 17-year-old.
So, he looks young. I was like, wow, a young guy to be up for something
absolutely.
Like that.
But this is 4 out of 4 for me too.
All right, excellent. Next up, The Commuter.
Commuter. This is a action drama starring Liam Neeson. He plays a aging dad who is on his way home from work, and he's offered a proposition where he can make $100,000 if he does a small favor, but he ends up getting caught up in a criminal conspiracy. This, like nonstop, unknown, run all night, same director as all those movies. This is a big dumb animal of an action movie. It's best enjoyed late at night when you're kind of sleepy because this movie is so illogical, so absurd that but it's best enjoyed if your brain is not firing on all cylinders when you watch it. But if you know what it is, you might enjoy this film. There is some mystery here, and it's kind of fun to guess what the twists are going to be. It's a film that, you know, it literally and figuratively goes off the rails in the third act, but it's more entertaining than it has any right to be. It's not a good movie, but I kind of enjoyed it watching it at 10 o'clock the other night. So I'm going to say 2 out of 4 stars.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Will. And where can we go to find more information?
Facebook.com/Will Meyer, the movie guy.